Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Miss Crocheting Coffee here, and today we are doing a whip and chat, so pull out whatever it is you're working on. Work along with me. Today I am working on trying to finish up Where Stars Come From DIY Moon Shop. I'm hoping to have this done by the time I announce the winner. If not, I will announce the winner in a video when I show this canvas. So the next time you see this canvas, I will be done with it. So if you see a post review or something for this canvas, that's where I will be announcing the winner. But the winner will know as of the 30th who won. So if you are the winner, again, keep an eye out on the comments or your emails if I commented on your comment on that video. But I won't be releasing the video until this canvas is completed and the winner has already contacted me and collected their prize from DIY Moon Shop. So good luck to everyone. I hope everyone is having a great day. I hope everybody had a great weekend. We're coming up on the 4th of July. I'm super excited. Now, usually we don't pop fireworks here because there's so many people around us that pop fireworks. So we don't usually pop fireworks. We just go and watch all the fireworks. And if you're in a place like I am, you hear fireworks for the week before 4th of July and then the week after 4th of July, because they just don't stop. They don't understand that the 4th of July is one day and not 2 weeks. And people will buy fireworks like ahead of time. And where we live, it's so flat. They usually have firework display in town. And you can go sit anywhere around my house and see the firework display because, you know, where we live is so flat. And the only thing I'm hoping is we don't have a thunderstorm that day because we are in our rainy season. This is our rainy season for North Dakota. So I'm hoping we're not in our rainy season when they do decide to shoot off fireworks. Because obviously they wouldn't be able to shoot them off because of the rain. But we've had thunderstorms every night for the last couple of nights. And I'm just like, well, at least it's not horribly like humid or hot afterwards. Because usually sometimes when I remember living in Pennsylvania, whenever it would rain, it would get so humid, you would like be choking when you go outside. So it doesn't get that humid around here now. Oh, also, I did get in some everlasting tips. Now, I didn't do a video on it. Next time I do a What You Got Wednesday, I'll do a video on it. But I did get the everlasting 3-placer and the everlasting tip. She also sent me some stickers. And I will link the everlasting tips and stuff down below. So there is the information for everlasting tips on Etsy. So thank you to Nicole over on Etsy for sending these over for me. And then she sent me some stickers for the kids. We have some pirates and some unicorns, which we haven't showed Maggie yet because I want them. And I think we have some Star Wars ones. And then we have unicorn and doggies and bumblebees and little bears and kangaroos and stuff. So I'm super excited about that. So thank you to Nicole over at Everlasting Tips for sending this out for me to try. So you'll see me using that pen with the Everlasting Tips. But she wanted to send them out to see if they passed the Miss Coffee test. Because y'all know Miss Coffee's a little rough with her things. And I am constantly breaking multi-placers. I never really broke. I don't think I ever broke the actual, the original placers, like the 3, 6, 9 placers. But the thinner ones, I break those constantly. So she wanted to see if they would pass the Miss Coffee drilling and chilling test. So I told her I'd try them out, see how they worked. And so far, so good. I was working with them the little bit of time that I was awake this weekend. So if you notice that Miss Coffee was away this weekend, hold on a second. Sorry, Maggie was out doing something. You gotta watch when they're super quiet because you always know that they're in trouble doing something. Anyways, if you notice that I was kind of absent this weekend, I do apologize. I was sick this weekend. I had a really bad migraine, so I slept most of the day Saturday and Sunday. And when I was up, I was usually doing stuff around the house or whatnot. Also, I was on TikTok, which is never a good thing. Nothing ever gets done when you're on TikTok. That app is just so addicting. I don't know what it is about that app, but I will go on there looking for one thing. And then I'll be on there for the next 4 hours and not realizing it just takes up and eats up my entire day. I was hoping to be done with this canvas by the day you would see this video, which would be Tuesday because I record on Mondays. I was hoping to be done with this canvas by then, but because I was sick over the weekend, I didn't get a chance to work on it much. And it wasn't just me being sick. It was Maggie being sick as well. She also had a migraine. So we spent a good portion of the day in her room watching cartoons in the dark. Maggie gets migraines from just for the same reason I do. When the weather changes, she'll get a little headache and I'll get a migraine. I can't even really call hers migraines. Hers are just little headaches. So I give her some children's Advil and she's fine. She was up and running and beating up her brother in no time. Meanwhile, I'm half dead to the world. I'm like a zombie walking around here trying to do stuff. Mr. Coffee was off Saturday, so he was able to take care of the kids and stuff on Saturday. And he wakes me up at like 6, 7 o'clock, and he's like, "Do you want dinner?" And I'm like, all I can think to myself is, "Hold up, you cooked dinner? What did you cook?" Because, okay, for those of y'all who don't know, Mr. Coffee is not a cook. Okay, he can't cook a lot. He can cook a couple of things, but he can't cook a whole lot. And I'm just sitting there going, what did you cook? I'm pretty sure he could hear the fear in my voice, and he goes, "Don't worry, it's just SpaghettiOs." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Now I love SpaghettiOs, good source of protein, all that fun jazz. So I was like, "All right, do we have Ritz crackers?" And he goes, "Yeah, I bought Ritz crackers and SpaghettiOs because I figured if you weren't gonna get up and cook, that I would, just make this because it's easy." Now Maggie has been tormenting her father all weekend because Friday I went to the doctor's office. I had to go to the doctor to get new migraine medication and all that fun stuff. And when I was gone, Mr. Coffee made them breakfast. Now, Mr. Coffee can make them dinner. Mr. Coffee can make them lunch. Mostly lunch. But anything else? No. Now, I don't know how anybody else makes their oatmeal. But does anybody make their oatmeal with milk? Or do you make your oatmeal with water? Asking for myself. Write that down in the comments. So, Mr. Coffee got up and Maggie decided she wanted cinnamon sugar toast with oatmeal. And he said, fine. Now, Mr. Coffee has never made oatmeal for the kids before. Usually I'm the one that gives the kids breakfast in the mornings. So he was just like, and if they ask for something, if he does get them breakfast in the morning, it's usually like cereal. Something easy that he can handle. I mean, I don't know how you can mess up putting food in a bowl with some milk on it, but he can handle giving them cereal. But anything else, like cooking-wise, no. He tried to make a waffle. I'm not sure what happened. It's like the waffle evaporated. The waffle shrunk down like 7 sizes and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not sure how you did that, but we'll figure that out later. Anyways, so we're sitting there, and I'm at the doctor's office, and I come back, and Maggie is all upset, and she has like this pouty look on her face. And I'm like, Maggie, what's wrong? And she goes, Daddy made my oatmeal with water, Mommy. And I'm like, he did what? Now, you would have thought that Mr. Coffee, like, farted in the bowl and tried to make her eat it or something the way she was acting. She goes, he put water in my oatmeal. It was disgusting. And I'm like, Maggie, that's not very nice. And she's like, Mom, it was gross. Why didn't you make my oatmeal? I'm like, honey, I had to go to a doctor's appointment. She goes, no more doctor's appointments. I need you to be home to make my oatmeal. I look at Mr. Coffee. He's just sitting over here with this look on his face. Well, she asked me for breakfast. And I'm like, okay, so what happened? And he goes, I don't know what happened. He goes, Mr. Coffee is one of those people. Now, it irritates the piss out of me, okay? It irritates the living crap out of me. He likes to follow the directions on the packaging of whatever it is to make whatever it is. If he doesn't know how to make it, he follows the direction, which is common sense. You just follow the directions. Well, on the oatmeal packet, the directions do say to use water. I don't use water. I use milk because it makes the oatmeal a lot creamier than water does. Well, he used water, and Maggie was not about that life, and she apparently was trying to tell him that Mommy uses water. And he goes, I don't know what she's talking about Mommy uses milk. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, where she was talking about with you using milk, but I use water, and then she refused to eat it. And she goes, well, it exploded in the microwave. And I'm like, what? I go over to the microwave. There's oatmeal all over the inside of the microwave. Now, my microwave is usually clean. It's probably one of the only appliances in my house that stays clean consistently. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, what did you do? And he goes, I tried to make the oatmeal and it exploded in the microwave. I'm like, it what? What? How did it explode? And he goes, I don't know. I've never made oatmeal before. Mr. Coffee's not an oatmeal eater. So like he wouldn't know. And Maggie's just going on and she's like, it exploded. And I heard a loud pop, Mommy, and I came out and all my oatmeal was all over the inside of the microwave. And I'm like, okay, so did she eat breakfast yet? He goes, no, she refused to let me make it over again. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, Maggie, are you still hungry for oatmeal? And she goes, if it doesn't explode in the microwave. And him and her are fussing back and forth about the oatmeal exploding in the microwave. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting there like, why didn't you clean the oatmeal up out of the microwave? He goes, I was going to. I'm like, well, now it's going to be harder for you to get it out because you don't let it dry in there. I'm like, I was literally gone 45 minutes. I'm like, what happened? And he's just like, I don't know. I don't know. Orion asked for cereal. He got cereal. He was able to eat and get his stuff done and then go back to his room. Maggie, on the other hand, of course, is being super extra. And I'm like, well, hun, you did blow up her oatmeal. How did you blow up oatmeal? Like, I have no clue how Mr. Coffee does the things that he does, but he does them. And I'm just like, okay, all right, honey. You at least tried. You tried, honey. You tried. So then I made Maggie's breakfast and he goes, well, how much milk do you put in it? Now, if you're a Southern gal like myself, you know what I'm about to say. I don't know how much milk I put in it. I don't measure anything. Like if I ever were to make a cookbook, you would be seeing 2 shakes of this, 5 shakes of that, this to taste, that to taste. Just put enough in there to cover up this. There's no measurements in Southern. Like, I don't think they even sell measuring cups down south because no one measures anything, okay? And if they do, they're not a real Southerner, okay? I'm just going to tell you that right now. Any person that measures their stuff is not a true Southerner because Southerners do not measure when they go and do recipes. It's part of the reason why my mom still hasn't made the recipe book I asked her for Christmas 2 years ago. Because Southern people don't measure out anything. We just cook it. You just cook it. You just know how much stuff is in there. It's ingrained in your body. You have your own internal ingredient book, and it tells you how many shakes, swivels, tops, pops, and everything that goes into your food. Like, you don't have to worry about measuring anything or putting too much or too little. If you do put too much or too little, that's a lesson for next time not to put that much in there. So I'm like, I just put enough milk in there to cover the oatmeal. I stir it up, put a little bit of butter in it, and put it in the microwave for 3 minutes. And then, boom, it comes out perfect every time. He goes, well, I wasn't aware of this. And I'm like, well, you didn't ask me either. But then again, I was at the doctor's office dealing with Darth Vader. So if you miss live, I go walk into the doctor's office. And of course, I had a mask on because even for those folks that don't believe in wearing the mask, what's the most you're out of? You're just wearing a piece of fabric over your face. I have asthma, okay? I have asthma and I will still wear the mask because, like I said, if I'm out of anything, it's just wearing a piece of cloth on my face. If anything, I look like some cool character out of Mortal Kombat. So I go into the doctor's office and I have Tina Temperature taking my temperature right when I walk in, and my temperature was a little high, and she asked me, had I been sick lately? Have I been out of the house? Have I did any traveling? I'm like, this is the furthest I've been out of my house in 3 months. Like, I haven't been anywhere. Now, that being said, I have gone to the post office, and that's about it, actually. I'm pretty sure that's all I've done in the last 3 months is go back and forth to the post office. But I'm like, besides going to the post office, I haven't left my house. And I told her, I'm like, it's really warm outside, so it could just be the fact that it's warm outside. I have on actual clothes. I haven't had on actual clothes in 3 months, so that could be a thing. I did take a shower before I got here, got dressed, did my hair, and now I'm here. So she fans me off and takes my temperature again. She's like, it's still a little high, so, it's not high enough that we can't make your appointment for you. And I'm like, okay. So I go to sit down, and then the Darth Vader of check-in comes over, and she's like, Miss Tepper, what are you here for? And I'm like, my migraine appointment with the doctor. And she's like, do you know your doctor's name? No, I don't. I really don't. I'm not even joking. I have no clue what my doctor's name is. Now, if you've ever been to the doctor, and I always used to make this joke back when I first started my channel about my dad and his old-timey doctor handwriting. Yeah, the lady had old-timey doctor handwriting, and I'm just sitting there like, I don't know what her name is. April something. And she goes, okay, well, you have a 10 o'clock? And I'm like, yes. And she goes, and I came early because in case I had paperwork to fill out, because they always ask you to come a little bit early. So I was there 5 minutes early, even though I ended up taking the wrong turn to get to the hospital. I was still there 5 minutes early. So I was like, is there anything I need to fill out or anything? She's like, no. This lady had on like one of those like face shields or something with like the giant like respirator mask. And she's like, okay. And she has on like that really thin like gown from like the hospitals. And so she was asking, you know, the normal questions. Do you have a migraine? Is, you know, how have you been since you've been here? Have you been out of the country? Have you been out of the state? Have you done any traveling? Because where we live, most people don't live here, so they will travel home and then come back. And a lot of people around here have traveled home and came back. And a lot of our cases are coming from those folks that are leaving the state and then coming back. Essentially, they're leaving the state fine and coming back with the Rona. And I'm just like, y'all need to sit in the house somewhere and behave yourselves. Like, I understand wanting to go see your family. And I'm thankful for the fact that I live up here with Mr. Coffee now, because if I hadn't, he wouldn't have been home for at least a year, because, not with the Rona. No, I don't think so. So I'm like, no, I haven't traveled or anything. I go back to see my doctor. She's asking questions about like treatments and stuff and how everything's been going. She prescribes me new meds, and then that's when I came home, because like the pharmacy is in the same building as the specialty office. So I just had to go downstairs, make an appointment at the eye doctor, because we never got me off to the ophthalmologist. So they're gonna do the test at the same building that my specialist is in, because they have an eye care center there. So essentially it's a big building full of doctor's offices and pharmacies. So we also have like the little vending machine pharmacy. If the pharmacy is closed, you just put your prescription in and it dispenses your medications that way. Which, has anybody else seen one of those machines before? Because until I moved here, I've never seen a dispenser for medication. Now, the hardcore stuff, it won't dispense. So if you're getting like Vicodin or Percocet and stuff like that, it will not dispense that stuff. But if you're getting like migraine medication and stuff like that, it will dispense that stuff. And I'm just like trying to, like, in my brain, I'm trying to figure out how this machine works, because like, how does it know how much and all this and everything else? I'm like, how can it read the old-timey doctor's handwriting? Is there a little person inside the machine that's doing this, that it just looks like a machine? Like, how does this thing work? But it's the coolest little thing for when you have to go to the doctor after pharmacy hours and you don't want to wait until the next day to get your meds. You can just put your prescription in the little box there, and they write it on a special prescription card that you insert, and then it dispenses your medication that way. So I thought that was really cool. All right, sorry about that. So the one thing I always hate about going to the doctor, though, is that scale. I put up a post on my Instagram the other day of a scale sitting in a corner, because that's where it belongs, because it's lying. According to the scale, apparently I gained another 5 pounds. And I'm like, look, you lying sack of crap. I'm going to put you in the corner, and you're not going to come out until you stop lying. The quarantine 20 is turning into the quarantine 40. I'm not liking this life. I have been doing a lot more, like getting up and doing stuff and being a lot more active, because what I've noticed when I gain weight is from being stagnant. It's from sitting still for long periods of time. And I'm talking about long periods of time. Like, have you ever been sitting up diamond painting, and then all of a sudden you hear birds chirping? Like, you go to sit down at night to diamond paint, and then the next thing you remember or you realize is that the birds are chirping, and it's like 7 a.m. and you're like, oh, no. That entire time that Maggie had summer school, every night I would wake up, or every night I'd be sitting here working on my diamond painting, and the next thing I know, I'm hearing birds chirping, and I'm like, what the hell time is it? Done lost the whole night diamond painting, didn't even realize. And I was like, oh God, no, I've messed up so bad. And usually I would just, go walk the dog and get Maggie up. Because of course, the entire time she had summer school, I didn't go to bed early at all. And now all I can think about is, well, if I go to bed at a good time, I'll wake up and I can go back to my diamond painting and hurry up and get it done. And then I lose the whole weekend because I ended up sleeping all weekend. So that was a bummer. So yeah, like it was a fast weekend. It's one of those weekends where I blinked and it was over. Sunday, I was up more Sunday than I was Saturday, because Saturday literally was just all sleep. Sunday, I actually was up and was able to do stuff because Mr. Coffee wasn't home, so I had to be able to get up and do stuff. So I was up and doing stuff. Maggie still wasn't feeling the best, so she slept majority of the day, and then it was just me and Orion. Orion was, in his room like a typical teenager, even though he's only 9. His thing is his friends from school all have Xbox, and he has found them all like Pokemon. he has found all his friends on Xbox, and now they will just sit there and talk and chitter chatter, and there will be like a group of 15 of them just sitting there. And I'm like, at this point, you might as well pull out one of those books you got from school and start learning about, you know, whatever, because if y'all are all going to sit in the same chat together, this is going to be school year next year. And I was reading somewhere that said that if you don't start wearing masks, you're going to end up having to homeschool your kids again. I'm like, let me get like 7 more masks. I'm not the best at teaching people how to do things. And so when they're talking about doing summer homeschooling again, I'm like, where it would be awesome because I don't have to buy school clothes. I don't have to worry about school lunch. I don't have to worry about anything that involves like going back to school. I don't have to worry about buying a bunch of hand sanitizer that you can't find at the stores right now still. And I don't have to worry about finding this or that. It's still the kids being home all the time. And that little bit of time that they're at school is great to have my little break. Like, mama needs a break sometimes. You know, being a stay-at-home mom, you don't ever get to clock out. Like, there's no clock out button. Because even when I'm asleep, there's always a little monster waiting to wake me up. Mom. Yes, Maggie. And this happens. This used to happen all the time. It doesn't happen so much anymore. It happens every once in a while now, where they will wake up in the middle of the night, pass the bathroom and the kitchen, come into my room, wake me up. Now, they've completely bypassed Mr. Coffee. They will come into my room, wake me up. Mom, what? Can I get some water? Mother chicken. If you don't go over to that faucet and get some faucet juice and leave me alone, you passed 4 faucets on the way to me. Why in the world do you have to wake me up to ask me, can you get a glass of water? Do I need to supervise you in getting a glass of water? Good God. So every once in a while, it's nice to have that little bit of break while they're at school. And if they don't go back to school, mama don't get that break. I have a feeling mama's going to go insane. So yeah, like, I don't know. Then with the heat the way it is right now, with as hot as it is outside, I'm not sure what's going on, because at this point, I'm just singing the classics of Michael Jackson. Now, if you guys didn't know, I had issues with my car. I've been having issues because the kids keep leaving the dome light on, so it keeps killing the battery, and my battery hasn't charged 100% yet. And because of that, whenever I leave it sit and don't run it for a couple of days, the battery dies again. So I bought a battery charger for my car, which means I'll have to take the battery out of my car to charge it to 100% and then put it back in the car. And then, you know, I'm going to have to start driving it and doing stuff, which, you know, that sucks because it's hot. It's hot. Okay. I was talking to Becky's Madness for Crafting this morning. She was like, it's 92 degrees. I'm like, dude, it's 11 o'clock where you're at. What the hell? It's right now, it's like 72 degrees at 1:15. And I'm like, that's hot enough. Mother Nature is doing the most right now with all this heat. And what comes with the summer? The bugs. What bug is predominant in the area that you live in? Do you get stink bugs? Do you get ladybugs? Because where I live, we get the gangsta mosquitoes. And I'm not about that life. I'm not about the life of the mosquitoes. And they be sitting there high-fiving their friends after they done attacked you. They be ganging up on you. Like, you'll go and swat one away and 4 more show up. And it's like they're a gang getting ready to attack you. And I feel disrespected whenever I see a swarm of mosquitoes. And then there's the invisible spider webs that you run into that make you look like you're insane. And you're swatting at things that nobody else can see but you. Yeah, summer, where it's good for the heat and I'm not freezing my butt off, the only thing I don't like about the summer is the bugs. And around here, I swear the bugs have taken all the face mask, because like every 2 weeks, there's an airplane that flies over town and sprays bug spray, because the mosquito situation is ridiculous. So they will spray bug spray to get rid of some of the bugs. And 90% of the places around here treat the grass so that there's not a bunch of fleas and ticks and all that. So we don't get fleas and ticks too much around here. So, I mean, Killian got 1 tick on him the first year we lived here. Now, my dogs have never had ticks until this point. And he had gotten a tick on him. Luckily, it literally looked like it had just gotten through all his fur. And so we were able to pull it off his fur, no problem. No, it didn't even get a chance to penetrate because his fur was so thick. So I'm like, you know, I'm super cautious when it comes to the dogs, because I remember growing up and our dog had fleas and you would get attacked by them and no amount of trying to murder these things would kill them. So we're pretty adamant about treating the dogs and making sure that like the place where we take the dogs is treated too, so we don't have to worry about ticks and fleas and stuff like that. Plus, where we live, I don't think there's a high thing for fleas and ticks. In Pennsylvania, they always had a high record of deer ticks and stuff, but here they don't have a high record of ticks or anything. They don't even offer, there's some vaccination that you can get. Lyme disease, there it is. Lyme disease shot that you can get for your dog. They don't offer it here at all the dog offices, like all the vet offices. Sometimes you have to go out of town to get them. So we haven't gotten the dogs their Lyme disease shot probably in 2 years, just because we haven't really worried about it. Even after Killian got that first one, I'm like, I don't want to drive 2 hours for 2 shots. Like, literally, you'd be driving 2 hours with dogs in the car one way to get them a shot that's going to take 2 minutes. I'm not about that life. I'm like, do they ever come to our town to get these shots? Because I will happily meet them somewhere in our town or meet them halfway. But 2 hours one way for a 10-minute appointment? No, thank you. That just sounds like a lot. So, yeah, there's that. Like I said, I do hope to be done with this soon. I am like almost at the end of this. This section that I'm working on now will be completed tonight. And then all I should have left is that side over there. I plan on powerhousing through this. I have to stay off TikTok because that's addicting. And I'm constantly wanting to look at all the things when I'm on there. I even found something about taking care of chickens, and I sent it over to Rachel because if you guys didn't know, Rachel has chickens. And I'm just like, it's like 3 in the morning and I'm still looking at TikTok videos and I'm like, okay, I got to stop this. I can't tell you how many mornings or how many evenings I've sat down here to diamond paint looking at TikTok, and the next thing I know, I'm hearing birds chirp. I'm telling you, it's a thing. If it's never happened to you, be lucky. You have a lot of self-control. Miss Coffee don't have the self-control. I am super excited, though. I found out that I will be doing merch. But not only merch, I'm going to be doing a whole lot of other little things. I'm going to test it out first before I start making like any official announcements and stuff. But yeah, I'm excited. I have a couple of people that are going to test the merch for me to make sure it's good quality. And then once it is, I'll tell you that I have merch and stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. The idea came to me over the weekend while I was sleeping. A commercial came on TV for, it was like a Teespring commercial or something. And I was just like, I really want to get my merch up. Like, I want to do like a Coffee Bean Nation merch line. So, I found out a way to do it, so I'm pretty excited. So as soon as I have the bugs worked out with that, I will get that to you guys. I know I promised you guys a color and chat this week. I do apologize, but I am so close to finishing this canvas. I swear, I'm so close. And I didn't want to waste time recording the whip and chat and not getting that time to diamond paint in. So don't worry, I will do a small little color and chat either later this week or I'll do a color and chat next week. But this canvas is on a time schedule because for me, it's time sensitive because of the contest. Now, they never said that we had to finish the project to announce the winner. I just want to have the winner announced when I show you the project like I did for Kimono. So I really want to bust this out because, again, I lost my entire weekend to sleep. And the sad part is I lost my entire weekend to sleep. I didn't realize Sunday was Sunday until 4 o'clock. And I was like, hold up. I feel like I'm missing something. What am I missing? Every week or every Sunday, there are a couple of lives I like to go into. I don't go into lives too much anymore, but there are a couple that I like to go into. CL Aldridge Art has a live, and then Cal's Crafts has a live on Sundays. And I miss both lives. And this was like 4 or 5 o'clock. I'm sitting there going, oh, man, I missed lives. Well, I meant to message Cal, because if I'm not in Cal's live, she knows something is wrong. I meant to message Cal, but it's like that narcolepsy hit, and I went, oh, and then fell asleep. So I didn't get a chance to message Cal, but she messaged me first thing this morning to check, make sure I was okay. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm so sorry I missed your live. I wasn't feeling good over the weekend. It's rare that I get like sick. Like, I think the last time I was sick was when I first started my channel and I was working on Wolf Dreamcatcher. I think that's one of the last times I was actually sick, minus like the stroke thing. That wasn't really sick. That was just like, whatever. But that was like the last time I can remember being sick. So I don't get sick too often. So when my body tells me it's time to sleep and I need to sleep, I'm going to sleep. Because that's how your body heals itself. It sleeps. It kind of like it shuts down and starts rejuvenating you. So I was asleep most of the weekend. I'm not ashamed of it. I needed that sleep, especially seeing as how I haven't been to bed at a good time and God knows how long. So yeah, sleep is good for you. We're gonna go with that. This week, I don't know what my plan is for this week. My brain is still foggy. I'm gonna put up videos. I don't know what they're gonna be of, but they're gonna be some there's gonna be some videos, so you guys can go look out for those, because I have no clue. I told my Patreons what my idea was for this week for videos, but again, I have no clue. And then as I'm doing that yesterday, I just see Orion slide past me on the couch. Like, I'm sitting on the couch and Orion slides past me, and I'm like, what are you doing? And then as he starts sliding away, him and Maggie are playing, and she's like dragging him through the house because she wants to play Minecraft, and he told her no. So her way of getting him to play Minecraft is dragging him from the kitchen to his bedroom and then forcing him to play with her. And the reason he doesn't like playing with her is just because she likes to spawn every animal in sight and then have them attack him because she thinks that's funny. So he gets annoyed and doesn't like to play Minecraft with her, and she tries to force him to play Minecraft. And then she gets mad when he doesn't want to play, and then Mom, Orion won't play Minecraft with me. It's probably because you start an army of animals that attacks him every time he tries to play with you. So Maggie's feeling better, if nothing else. At least she's feeling better. It's always hard when the kids are sick because, especially right now with the hospitals being on lockdown the way they are, only one parent can go back with a child under the age of 18, I think. So I'm like, if something happens where we have to take her out to the hospital, I'm staying with her, you stay with Orion. Orion's the easier of the two kids. He's real chill and laid back. So I figured that'd be easier for Mr. Coffee than dealing with Maggie. But then again, if she has to get shots of some sort, then it's Mr. Coffee's job. I don't do shots. No, I'm not a big fan of shots. And I know a lot of people are like, well, Miss Coffee, you have a ton of tattoos. Yes, I have a ton of tattoos. Mind your business. Now, getting shots and tattoos are completely different, okay? I don't know how many tattoos I have altogether. When I first met Mr. Coffee, he had aspirations of being a tattoo artist, because if you guys didn't know, Mr. Coffee can draw really good. He doesn't think he can, but he can. He can draw really good, and he had aspirations of wanting to be a tattoo artist at one time, so his parents had bought him a tattoo machine, and I was like, well, I have skin. I like tattoos. How about practice on me? So like now my entire body is covered in tattoos. So for those of you wondering about all the tattoos, it's Mr. Coffee's fault. I blame Mr. Coffee like I usually do for everything else. So tattoos are different. I don't know how to explain it, but I know the folks is anybody else afraid of needles? Put that down in the comment section. I am definitely afraid of needles. I'm not a needle person. But when it comes to tattoos, I'm like, yes, give me all the needles. But you can't really see those needles, and they're not like piercing through your skin and injecting you with something. Well, technically they kind of are, but you know what I mean. So like, I'm not fearful of tattoos. And I think let's see, if I had to guess, because I know this is going to be a question. I get this question all the time. What's the most painful place that I have a tattoo? My most painful place of getting a tattoo is on my back. Now, on my back, I have an army of Hello Kitties. And that was probably by far the worst tattoo pain-wise that I have. I have tattoos on the back of my neck. I have a tattoo on my thigh, on the back of my leg. I have tattoos everywhere. But the one that hurt the most was on my back. I have a tramp stamp of Hello Kitties, like it just says Hello Kitty. And then above that is an army of Hello Kitties, just all different Hello Kitties. So that tattoo was a 10-hour tattoo, and there's like nerdy Hello Kitty and Afro Hello Kitty, just all a bunch of random different Hello Kitties. Now I'm supposed to get another set of them, but by the time I could sit still long enough to get that second set, Mr. Coffee was already working up here in the oil field, and we just never had the time to do it. So like I think there's 2 or 3 rows of Hello Kitties on my back right now. And I do plan on at some point making him finish the rest of it, because he still wants the tattoo, but he just never has time. And now that he's in school, he really doesn't have time. He was super excited because he finished his first class. So right now he's on break from school, which is wonderful, because next week, Miss Sharon, his mom, and Minna are making their way to North Dakota. I'm so excited because one, I have to deep clean my house because I haven't deep cleaned my house since last week, and I'm not gonna deep clean it this week, but I'm gonna deep clean it like we're moving out deep clean next week, just so, because his mom does have allergies, and even though she has allergies, she does take meds because she has like, I want to say she has a couple of cats, 4 or 5 cats or something. But we have dogs. We don't have cats here. We have dogs. And the dog fur is real. Killian is still molting. And so I need to make sure that I get up as much fur off the carpet, off the couches, and everything that I can. We have leather couches, but there's still fur like everywhere. And no matter how much you clean, the fur doesn't go away. It's like glitter. It's like glitter. If you have a dog with fur like glitter, or glitter like fur, write that down in the comment section what kind of dog you have, because I have a German Shepherd and a Siberian Husky, and they shed like nobody's business. I can make new animals out of the amount of fur they shed a day, just a day. And right now, like I literally wait every other day to brush Killian because literally he is molting so bad. He's getting used to the weather outside, so all his dark fur is essentially going away and he's turning gray. So he looks like a little old man dog because like all his hair is turning gray. And Mr. Coffee was sitting there the other day and he looked at him and he's like, "What's wrong with my dog?" And I'm like, "What do you mean what's wrong with your dog?" He goes, "Why is he all gray?" I'm like, "Maybe he's just very smart." And he's like, "No, my dog is gray." I'm like, "That's because he's shedding his winter." Y'all, why did he go look it up online? Because he thought I was lying to him. He thought something was wrong with his dog. And I'm like, there is nothing wrong with your precious little Killian. He is fine. His fur just changes colors depending on the temperature. You can always tell how hot or how cold it's going to be depending on how much he actually sheds. But I feel like at this point, I am constantly cleaning fur off of everything. I'm constantly sweeping. I'm constantly chasing the dogs around. I have gone as far as, I don't know if anybody else has done this with their pets. I have gone as far as getting a hose attachment, which is just like the little bristle hose that you use for your couch, and then the thinner hose. When I'm finished clearing the cobwebs out of the corner of the house, that I do like every other day. When I'm finished doing that, I will take the hose to the dogs because I can't tell you how much fur comes off these dogs. It's ridiculous. I love my dogs to death, I really do. But if they don't stop emitting fur all over my house, I'm going to go insane. So for those folks that are like, you know, I wonder what drives Miss Coffee nuts worse about cleaning her house, the dog fur. Because no matter how much cleaning you do, I can sweep for 30 minutes getting up all the dog fur. And then when you put it in the dustpan, some of it flies out and you're trying to like catch it without knocking the rest of the dog fur out of the thing. And I try to put the trash can close so I don't have far to go dump it. No matter what you do, there's always dog fur. Always. I will sweep for 30 minutes and then I will go to mop. And then you'll see a little tumbleweed of dog fur. And I'm like, how the hell did I miss you? I just swept for 30 minutes. That's what drives me insane about cleaning up after the dogs. Not like actually going outside and cleaning up after them. The fur. If I could do this, like if I could have my dogs and them not have fur, that would be wonderful. But I know I can't do that. So I will deal with the struggle of the dog fur. But good God, you guys, the dog fur. Between human hair and dog fur, I'm over all hair at this point. Because it's getting to be a little bit out of control. And I'm noticing that as I'm trying to put these drills away, that they are multiplying on my canvas, and apparently I'm not seeing them until I'm telling myself, okay, let's try to go to the next color. So yeah, so I have to deep clean the house to get ready for Minna and her grandmother to get here. They're gonna, I don't know how long Miss Sharon's gonna be here. Minna's gonna be here for a month, but Miss Sharon, I don't think she's gonna be here for a month. I think she's only gonna be here for a couple of days, and she had some friends that she wanted to visit. Like she's taken and living her best life over this summer, and she's just traveling to go see friends. So yeah, Minna's excited because they get to stop at a llama farm, and I'm like, take pictures for mommy. Jealous. And they're hitting up all the Starbucks on the way here, so she should be extremely happy by the time she gets here. Hopefully she won't be bored, because if y'all guys remember last year, if you were on my channel last year, Minna came to visit. Every time that child would wake up, I'm bored. You just woke up. What do you do with your child when they're bored? Like, do you just make them go find something to do? Like, I'm confused here. I don't want her to be bored again like she was last year. But I also don't feel like I need to entertain her more than I entertain the little ones. The little ones can find something to entertain themselves. It seemed like last year Minna was just like, no, I'm bored. And then when I talked to her dad her dad was like, oh, did you get the on board thing while she was there? And I'm like, okay, so it's not just me. It's not that my house is boring. She literally just does this. And he goes, yeah, it's annoying. And I'm like, okay. So I guess it's just a teenage thing. I'm not used to that because Minna's my first teenager. So I'm just like, eh. And whenever I have questions, you guys are always the best when it comes to trying to figure out like the kids and how to do things. Because, you know, it takes a village, folks. It takes a village. And raising kids nowadays is hard because there's so much. Like, there's so much that the kids can do, like, electronic-wise. Could you imagine going through a pandemic back in our day? Like, I know, I think I would be considered a millennial. And then people that are older than me would be considered boomers, I think. And then Maggie and Minna and them would be considered Gen Z. Back in my day, when all you had on the computer was Snake and Oregon Trail, and there wasn't a whole lot of games and stuff. Could you imagine going through a pandemic back then? Oh my God, Nintendo had just came out. Nintendo came out in 1984. I remember that because I was born in 84. And so I'm like, I couldn't imagine going through what we're going through now back when I was little, because we didn't have as much stuff as they have now. And that's why whenever my kids say they're bored, I want to tie them to the wall and ask how bored they are then, because I'm like, how are you bored? I feel myself turning into my parents, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not even mad at it. I'm not even mad at it, because back in my day, okay, we didn't have the internet like it is now, where it works in 2.35 seconds. When it doesn't, you can call somebody to come fix it, and it goes back to working in 2.35 seconds, okay? You had that dial-up. You had to hear for that doo-doo. Like, that was our internet. We didn't have any of the fancy stuff they have now. The kids have all these apps. Both the kids have tablets. When Minna gets here, she'll be using my tablet, so she'll have a tablet to use in case she gets bored. And I'm like, how can you ever say you're bored? In this house alone, there are 5 game systems, okay? 5. And we have TVs in every room. Now, we don't use a TV in our room. Our room TV is just for decoration. But there are TVs in every room. You can't say you're bored with all the electronics in this house. There's 3 playgrounds in the area that I live. You cannot say you're bored. There's too much going on in these streets for you to say that you're bored. So I'm like, hoping that this time when Minna comes up, she's not as bored as she was last year, because all I could think last year was, do you know how much stuff is in this house? Do you know how much stuff y'all have to play with? We didn't have all this stuff. Maggie has a closet full of toys to play with, and she has never come out and said, Mom, I'm bored. She'll be like, I don't want to play with this right now, but she's never been like, Mom, I'm bored. And then when she is, I go, oh, hey, look, an activity book. Because it's summertime. So I don't know if anybody else's parents used to do this, but my parents back in the day, they used to go to Walmart. And in Walmart, they have those activity books those grade prep books, I call them. They get you prepared for the grade that you're about to go into. Like, they have activities and a book that you could do. We would have to complete one of those over the summer to get us ready for the next school year. I hated doing it back then, but I realize now that it was so much of a help, and now I have the kids doing it. Problem is, Orion, his little smart ass, he finishes his book in 2 days. And I'm like, I can't buy him the same freaking book, so I'll buy him the book for the grade, like, above where he's at. So this year, Orion's going into 4th grade. Oh my God, I have a 4th grader. Orion's going into 4th grade this year. Maggie's going into 2nd grade. And I'm like, okay, all right, cool. So I bought them the 2nd grade and the 4th grade book. Well, Orion finished his book in 2 days, and he goes, is there any more books like this? I'm like, sure there are. So I bought him the 5th grade book. He finished that book in 2 days. Okay, now you're just gonna have to sit and play on your game system when I'm busy, because I can't with you. I can't right now. Like, how are you finished? He had like algebraic equations in that book, and he showed me one, and he was all excited because he got it right without having to look at the instructions. And I had to look in the back of the book to see if he got it right. I'm like, let me see if you actually got it right. And he goes, oh, is there an answer key? And I'm like, what do you mean is there an answer key? He goes, Mom, you don't do math well. You know what? Get the hell out of here, kid. So he's completed his book. Maggie is still working on her 2nd grade book, but she's doing really good. She's having some trouble with, not so much the reading, but she's having trouble identifying some of the things in the book. Like, she saw a lantern. And kids nowadays don't know what the hell a lantern is, so why would you put that in a book? My kids have never been camping, okay? Yeah, I know, they're deprived. They've never been camping, so they don't know what a lantern looks like. So Maggie saw the lantern, and she's like, is this a light? I'm like, yes, but it's called something else. She goes, what is it called? It looks like a weird light. That's just like right now, if you go to a child that's under the age of 18 and go, do you know what a payphone is? They have no clue what a payphone is. They have no clue why you need a pencil to rewind a cassette tape. They don't even know what a cassette tape is. That kills me right there. That kills me. Minna last year didn't even know who Snoop Dogg was. I was hurt beyond words. Hurt beyond words. She knows who Ozzy Osbourne is, but she doesn't know who Snoop Dogg is. And I'm like, dude. Now, I'm not big into rap music, but I know who Snoop Dogg is now. Come on now. I used to listen to Snoop Dogg back in the day. So I'm like, how do you not know who Snoop Dogg is? It's just, it baffles me how much of a gap there is in the generations and what they do and don't know. And I'm like, my kids will never know the joy of slamming a phone on the receiver. Like, they'll never know that joy. Now they just have to hit a button and it hangs up the phone. Like, they don't know the joy of slamming that phone down, because there was nothing better than getting into a fight with someone and slamming that phone down so they could feel your fury. I'm surprised more phones didn't break, because I remember in my house, that phone was constantly being slammed. I grew up with 3 brothers in the house, and between their girlfriends and their friends, that phone line was always getting slammed, okay? You would have thought that my phone was part of the WWE, because every time I turned around, somebody was slamming that phone down, and my kids will never know this joy. They will never know this joy. And you just imagine, when their kids are our age, or when they're our age and their kids are the age that they are now, their kids won't know the joys of like half the stuff that they have and the music that they like to listen to. And it's just weird to me that that's how that works. And I sometimes in my brain forget, you're an adult. You can do whatever you want to do as long as you're not hurting anybody, because you're an adult. Like, I'll sit here at night and I'll be like, God, I can really go for a bowl of cereal. And Mr. Coffee's like, then get a bowl of cereal. Oh, that's right. I'm a freaking adult. I can eat all the cereal I want. I'll sit here like a fat cow and then get mad at the scale at the doctor's office when it's telling me that I've gained weight. And I'm like, look, you're a lying sack of crap. You deserve to go in the corner until you can come out and tell the truth about what I weigh. I do not weigh that much. Y'all, I'm about to hit 200 pounds. I need to stop with all the cereal. Honeycomb is invading my life and I don't appreciate it. So yeah, so like, it's just weird to me that they're like, when my parents used to say it to me, I thought they were just being old, fuddy-duddies, because, back in my day, they always had a story about something. Like, Papa always had a story about something. And now I'm that parent. And I'm like, back in my day, I could never say I was bored. We had so much stuff to do. You go outside and play and all this. But you got to think, these kids are living in the middle of a pandemic right now. They're trying to grow up in the middle of a pandemic. And besides reading, which Orion at this point has read almost every book in his room. And so besides reading, which is nice now, because back in our day, we didn't have virtual libraries. They now have virtual libraries. My parents would try to make us read the Encyclopedia Britannica. Like, y'all remember that book? Good God. And it wasn't just a book. It was a group of books. And my dad was proud when he got the full, really nice set of Encyclopedia Britannicas. Like, that was his jam. My dad was just like, if you're bored, read the encyclopedia. And I'm like, oh, okay. Nowadays, does anybody even still own the Encyclopedia Britannica? I highly doubt it. I'm pretty sure my dad probably packed it up with his stuff, not even realizing that he still had it. He still has all the Disney movies on VHS. And I'm like, who has a VHS? I can't even say that, though, because Minna's dad still has a VHS. He still uses a TV that has a VHS player in it. Minna's dad's old school. He doesn't like the change of the times. So, like, he still has, like, cassette players. He has a Nokia brick, if you don't remember that phone. That gigantic Nokia brick when cell phones first came out. He still has one of those. He uses as a cell phone or as an alarm clock. Like, he has a lot of that old school stuff still. Okay, guys. So I can't stay on here much longer. As I'm sitting here talking to you guys, and we're having fun talking about old times and Encyclopedia Britannicas, my daughter walks out of her room just now with no pants on. Now, this is not an uncommon thing in my house because, no pants. That's Miss Coffee's motto. She comes out with a box and she goes, Mommy, the box is leaking. What? Now, I don't allow food and drinks in my kids' rooms because they're little kids and I don't like bugs. And so I'm thinking, okay, why is the box leaking? Now, if you guys remember on Friday during my live, Mr. Coffee had gotten Maggie a water bottle. So I'm sitting here talking to you guys, and she comes out and says, this box is leaking. And I'm like, how in the world is the box leaking? And the first thing I thought of is, where is that water bottle? Now she knows she's only allowed to have water in the water bottle, so that's a plus. But I'm like, and hold up, where are your pants? Because when I started recording, she had on pants. Now she doesn't have on pants, and I'm like, Maggie, where's the water bottle? The water bottle was in her room. Apparently the box is leaking water because she poured water into it and then decided to sit in it like it was a pool. I guess she didn't realize that if she puts water in a box, she can't like fill the box up. It'll just leak. So now there's a puddle of water on her floor in her bedroom. And I'm in one of those moods where I'm like, that mess will be there in 10 minutes. Mommy needs a chance to collect herself. You ever have one of those moments where you get so mad at your kid that you have to back away and you start like, you know, thinking to yourself, today's not the day to go to jail. Today's not the day to go to jail. Today, no, just take a few minutes and calm down. Like, sometimes I feel like a bad mom that I feel like I have to go and stop myself and calm down because I don't want to get mad or yell at the kids too often. But I'm finding the older that they get, the more timeouts that mommy needs. Like, is this like a normal thing amongst parents? Like, do parents usually have to give themselves a timeout? Or Maggie lately has been catching attitude like nobody's business. And she caught attitude with me the other day, and I'm sitting here, and the only thing I could think to do, I just was like 10, 9, 8, 7. And Mr. Coffee's looking at me because I'm hiding my face and I'm counting. He goes, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm playing hide and go seek because I'm trying to find who the hell she thinks she's talking to. Like, I feel like at 7 years old, my daughter shouldn't have this much attitude, but I am her mother, so she gets it honestly. But I don't think she should get it this early because she hasn't even hit puberty yet. And that's not fair that she's going to be worse during puberty than she is now. I'm really hoping that as she gets older, she calms down. Maggie's like a puppy, okay? She's real hyper. And the older she gets, she settles down a little bit each year. But I feel like this past year, Maggie has been more hype. And I think it's because of lack of going outside because of this pandemic. Has anybody else had to ever count to see who the hell their kids are talking to? Like, you look at your kids like, excuse me, who are you talking to? I'm having one of those moments right now. And because then when I asked her why the box was leaking, she goes, duh, mom, because it was wet. 10, 9, 8. And you know it gets bad when you start having to sing to yourself, like start rocking back and forth. So yeah, I'm going to deal with that whenever I'm done here, because if I deal with that now, mommy's not going to be very happy. So mommy's going to take some time to herself, and I'm going to collect myself before I have to go deal with Maggie and no pants. Because why does she do these things? Why do kids do these things? Like, she wants to go to the pool so bad, and I know that's part of the reason probably why she did it, because she probably actually thought that if she filled the box with water, she could go swimming. The problem is the rec center here is still down. They're not opening it because for fear that they would spread the virus. I completely understand. There is a public pool, but it also is not opening for fear of the infection. I completely understand. And at this point, I'm like, when anytime y'all want to go get wet or anything, we have 1-gallon tubs that we will put water in and let them go sit on the sidewalk. Or we'll go walking and find sprinklers that are on, and they can go run through the sprinklers. But the pools around here are not open yet, so they can't go swimming. And Maggie wants to go swimming in the worst way right now. And I'm like, I know you want to go swimming. I hear you when you say this. But we physically cannot go swimming right now. And unless you want to go swim in the bathtub, we can't go swimming. So she'll go swim in the bathtub. And that's how I've been conning her into taking baths and stuff every day, is she can go swim in the bathtub. She can be a mermaid. And I just lay towels out in front of the tub, because we all know when your kid's a mermaid in the tub, water is everywhere but in the tub. So I will lay towels and stuff out for her to go swim in the bathtub, because there's nothing open. I can't take them anywhere. So it's hard because I have to entertain them all day because there's nothing open for them to go do. They can't go play with their friends, not because they can't, because I don't trust their friends. A lot of their friends travel out of town and then come back. And again, that's how most of our cases in this town happen, is from people traveling and coming back with it. I'm not about that life. No, no, no. Nobody in my house is about to get the Rona. Okay. No. I'm paranoid. I'm aware of this. I don't need anybody judging me for being paranoid. If nothing comes of this, at least my children won't be sick. And Orion already has a friend that's showing signs. And I'm like, yeah, that same little boy was at my house last week asking, can my son come outside? And I talked to the little boy's dad yesterday when I was taking the dogs home from the dog park. And the little boy is showing signs of having COVID. And I'm like, now, if I would have let my kid go outside and play with him, my son would be showing signs too. And Orion has lung issues like his mama does. He has asthma. And I'm not about that life. So I'm like, no, we're gonna be all in this together in the house. We'll play in the house. I can't tell you how many games of Uno I've lost, how many games of Giant Jenga I've lost, how many games of Skippo I've lost. It is ridiculous. I need to buy some Phase 10 cards because at this point I'm tired of getting my butt whooped at Uno and Skippo. Like, don't you hate when you teach someone, like a kid, how to play a game and then they're better than you at the game and you're like, do you already know how to play this game, or are you just messing with my head? Like, I don't understand. Orion and Maggie picked up on Skippo real easily. I'm about to teach him how to play Yahtzee. The only reason why I don't play Yahtzee is because there's math involved, folks. I don't want to do all that math. So I haven't taught them how to play that yet. And we do have a giant Yahtzee set that we can play. But it's just been, right now, it's too hot. It's like Satan toe knuckle hot outside. And I'm not about that life of going out there, because 10 minutes of being out there, they'll be ready to come back inside. And then when they're inside, they'll be ready to go back outside in 5 minutes. And then we got to play the let's go inside to come outside to go back inside game, which is the game the dogs usually play. And I'm not about to play that game with my kids. So, yeah, we'll stay inside. That today seems to be like the grass cutting day, because I don't know about where anybody else lives, but the rain here must have like Miracle Grow in it, because it will rain and then the grass will grow 2 inches. And I'm like, what the hell happened to the grass? Like, why is it so long? And then they'll wait until it stops raining or right before it rains to decide to cut the grass again. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, and again, we're in our rainy season. So it rains more at the beginning of the summer here than it does any other time during the year. So I think at this time, all the adults of the world just should find a big, open, vacant field and go scream in it. It's hard trying to keep the kids occupied since they have to stay in the house. And even though they've lifted restrictions, I'm still a little weary on that because, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? What are you guys' plans for the summer? We do plan on going back out to the Badlands with Minna and Mr. Coffee's mom to show them the Badlands and to show them some of the areas around here, like Spring Lake and stuff like that. So we do plan on doing a couple more things with the kids over the summer besides just going to the Badlands. There's a couple other places we wanted to check out too. So doing stuff like that that's like out in nature I can do. When it's stuff that's like inside, no. I don't like going to the movies. No, that's not happening. So like there are a couple of other places that we want to go visit that are closer to the house here. So we'll probably do some more of those things over the summer with the kids, and just so it's not so boring and everybody's just locked up in the house, because the kids are getting cabin fever and mama's losing her mind over here by the day. So yay, parenting during a pandemic. But I have been trying to like get them outside. Like whenever I go walk the dogs, the kids will come with me and play at the playground, because usually there's nobody there anyways, because it's either A, too hot, or B, it's too late in the day for people to usually be out. But the next couple of days there will probably be people out because fireworks were coming up on the 4th of July. So the fireworks will be happening. Next week is Minna's birthday. She turns 14. Good God, I can't even with this kid. But I bought something really special for Minna. And if her and her dad do like I asked them to, I will have a short little video of for you guys to see Minna opening her birthday present. I'm not sure if I'll get it in time for the video. If not, it'll be over on my Instagram, but that won't be until next week because her birthday is next week and the thing isn't due to be delivered to her until her birthday. So I'm just anxious to see if she likes it or not, because I thought it would be pretty funny. So yeah, but with that, I probably should get going. That's enough rambling for me today. It was a pretty boring weekend because I was asleep all weekend because I wasn't feeling well. The kids are still driving me nuts being in the house. I love having them here, but they're driving me insane. I'm just trying to keep it all together, folks. Trying to keep my mental stability together. It's a struggle some days, but some days it's a little bit easier. So thanks for letting me talk your ear off. If you made it to the end of the video, put a rainbow in chat. Let's show the last couple of days of gay pride some pride from Miss Coffee's channel. I do support gay pride, so if you're one of those people that doesn't, sorry about your luck. So yeah, but with that said, folks, I must now bid you adieu. But not before reminding you that if you're new to the channel and would like to see more random crazy videos just like this, please feel free to hit that subscribe button and the bell to be notified anytime I randomly decide to put up a video. And believe me, it's random. With that said, I must now really bid you adieu. But not before reminding you, like I always try to be kind, be courteous, be cool. Bye, guys.